Hey there, YouTube. So, this is another episode of the Coach Talk by Coach Pierre here. I wanted to get an opportunity just to get some thoughts out there. So, this is for my Kansas City Chiefs fans here. The big thing I've noticed is your team, due to Patrick Mahomes' injury, now has to have a reset. Understand this, the injury is not career threatening. With the way modern medicine is, guys recover a lot quicker and sometimes even stronger than before. And even though it is unfortunate for him to get injured like this, I think this will definitely help them in the long run. Um, a couple guys I've talked to, and they've been Chiefs fans since the 80s and early 90s. So they've seen the true heartbreaks of beating the Bills in the regular season, but then losing to them in the playoffs. A quote they've said time and time again is red and gold till I'm dead and old. Understand this, a lot of those times it was just a mantra that those guys would say because they loved their team. And the and even though they weren't winning the Super Bowl, they were proud of the product they were consistently putting out there because they understood that this team was a stable organization. During the time, no matter how bad it got, the Chiefs were never considered or looked at the Raiders are almost now, or the Jets were just a flat out embarrassment where people would go, why are you a fan of this team? No, the Hunt family has done a good job of running a franchise well. Typically, they don't cut corners. They can be a little cheap, but they don't cut corners. They don't take cheap shots or are involved in a lot of scandals. And the team overall has played hard throughout its history. Um, Even legends like Joe Montana and Marcus Allen came to the Chiefs because they saw what the fan base was like, how the organization was run, and so it gave them trust that, hey, I may leave the only team I've ever known, but I'm coming to a place to where I know I'm going to be taken care of and where the fans are going to love and support me. And I think that's what Patrick Mahomes is feeling. He said that multiple times, that, and yes, part of it is, hey, I play for the Chiefs. These are the best fans in the world. But also he sees some of the other organizations and fan bases. And sometimes it's like, you know what? I'm glad I'm a part of this one and not some of these other. It's made them the consistent standard. And when Mahomes got here now and started winning, now the standard not only elevates to just the Kansas City area, but to the whole entire league. Right now, I think Kansas City has an identity crisis. Um, for months, and I've said this in a previous article, the Chiefs needed to head to a reset. Um, and now with Mahomes' injury, they're forced to. They have to reset. And because think about it, the Chiefs' offense is simply this: Mahomes, what's he going to do to save us? How can he improvise a late game comeback or late game maneuver for us to win a game? This identity of having Mahomes do everything for them has mass flaws, and this covered up bad play calls and just hid just the different stretches of where does this team even look prepared? And that's crazy to say for an organization that's won Super Bowls, but sometimes they just don't look prepared. And and even if Mahomes can't be the guy that he physically is, this team still wants to win. Their identity is being stable and finding ways to win and be respectable. And I know that they can do this. And with Mahomes going to the sideline, they're gonna have to actually just look at themselves and go, who are we? What are we? How are we able to, again, develop a run game, fix our passing attack? What is our offensive philosophy? Improvisation is not a philosophy, and that's what it's been like with since 15 has been here. The other uncomfortable thing is, as a coach, I don't like calling for other coaches jobs, but there is a clear difference between the time Bieniemy was here and the time Nagy has been here. A lot of fans have been calling for Nagy's job, and I don't think that's something that is crazy. When you look at the differences uh, when you look at the differences over the last couple years, when the last year Bieniemy was the OC in 2022, Mahomes completed 67% of his passes. He had over 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, with an amazing passer rating of 105. That next year, the percentages were high in completion, 67%. The drop due to drops, his yardage went down and his touchdowns went down, down from 5,000 to 4,000, and from 41 touchdowns down to 27 touchdowns. In 24, 67% completion again, so high completions, a lot of dinking and dunking, remember, but now he's under 4,000 yards and now 26 touchdowns. And this year, before the injury, he was at 62% completion, 3,500 yards and only 22 touchdowns. The interceptions still have not been a terrible issue. He's still at 11, but there's a clear difference. And I think a lot of Chiefs fans understand that the team just looks different compared to what you know and what you've seen in the past and with the abilities of some of the players on this team. You can get that. I've watched this team game after game, year after year, and something just looks off. As a Panthers fan, as someone who's not in the thick of it, I feel blessed to kind of take a step back and kind of see where what I would do or what I would wish for my team to implement. And something in a moment I think a lot of fans would get is, remember when that first Super Bowl against the Niners, they um it's like third down, third and long, and Mahomes goes off to the sideline and he talks to who? He talks to Bieniemy and he asks him, "Hey, do we have time to run wasp?" He asks his offensive coordinator. Now that's a small, simple little thing, but Mahomes clearly trusted Bieniemy in his idea and what he saw, and because of that, they were able to run a big play and almost change the momentum of that game. I in the other in Bieniemy was well known as a taskmaster. And the best way to look at it is this: there's a lot of guys on that coaching staff who are good men, good fathers, good leaders. They're not, but not a whole lot of barkers. Not a whole lot of guys who are willing to be uncomfortable, who are willing to be uncomfortable. And Bieniemy clearly was a guy who would look around and go, "Yeah, we won a freaking Super Bowl, but we can be better. There's a standard to the greatness that we gotta reach and achieve. And I understand that it may be uncomfortable. And hey, we do X, Y, and Z, but this is the standard we're going to." And how I know that is now, where is he at now? He's in Chicago. In Chicago has been running the football incredibly well. They're second in the league in rushing. They have a turnover differential of plus 20 that leads the league. They're sixth in rushing touchdowns. Um, even if and you can put a lot of it's Ben Johnson. Yes, I mean, obviously your head coach has a lot to say and has the ability to trust, but but he is a guy who clearly wherever he goes, the standard is raised. And if you can take on that pressure from his coaching, you're going to elevate. Adrian Peterson, his first couple of years, guess who his running backs coach was? Bieniemy. It was Bieniemy. There's a clear through line. If you can handle the pressure and you can develop and listen to what your coach to do, you're going to have success. Now, but what about Washington? Okay, when Sam Howell's your quarterback, and they did some good things in that Washington offense, but overall, that's not all on the enemy. He came in there, he tried to do a job and it didn't work out. UCLA, that's another standard where it's another quote unquote mark against his legacy, which really it shouldn't. It's UCLA, it wasn't USC, it wasn't an SEC school. There's only so many things that you can do as a coach. I truly believe that as a coach, what he does really well is he challenges your good to great players to elevate, and if you are able to take in that coaching, you're going to rise. Swift has looked well running the football this year, and he's credited Bieniemy's coaching. I just think is with some talks with Nagy resigning as the OC, I think that would be a bad decision for them. Bad decision. And it's not because I don't like the guy. I'm sure the man is a is a good dude, but something has to change with that offense because what because again, I'm going to repeat myself when I say this. What exactly is their offense? What do they do consistently that doesn't revolve Mahomes? I will go back to the Patriots. Both the early run and the late run. The Patriots were willing to do the things to win the game. They could throw, and Tom Brady did throw for 5,000 yards, but there was also seasons where he was under 4,000 and they ran the football consistently well because they knew, hey, we can run the football and we can establish the line of scrimmage. We play a lot of teams that don't run the that cannot stop the run. So we're going to lean into that. And even if their approach was we do what we can to win the game, at least that was the philosophy of, hey, some games we're going to do this, some games we're going to do that, but it didn't all rely on Tom Brady. And I think when you watch the Chiefs offense, it's just all on Mahomes all the time, all the time. If I am on the Chiefs and I'm on that coaching staff, there's a couple things I know for a fact we have to do. We have to create real structure. No matter what happens with Mahomes from next year to the year after, there has to be some clear structure for him. Greg Olson, an analyst, also said. Greg Cosell also said this, where the offense relies too much on Mahomes instead of clear structure. And so fix that structure up, simplify some things for the offense so that it's a clear read, and then you use Mahomes' ability to get you out of bad situations. The other thing is a real running game. I don't understand why the Chiefs don't have a more explosive back. You would think running backs will be lining up to play for the Chiefs because of the different soft coverages they get for the back end. The Chiefs need to establish a running game. Part of it is the running back, part of it is the offensive line. Both of those positions have been banged up, and so you just need to heavily invest back into those positions. Receivers who understand space. There were multiple routes where the bunches or spacing just seem to be off. And part of it is you have multiple guys who almost can do the same thing, but they're all trying to do different things. So it's just a bunch of mismatched parts. The other thing is tempo. I think once the Chiefs get going, start using tempo again. They did that earlier in their run and they kind of went away from it. And part of it was, hey, we want to get the defense some rest. We are not a high power explosive offense, but tempo doesn't just mean speed. It just means being in control, but understanding what you're going to have to do a lot quicker. Just coaching that. Another thing is coaching. I want to see a coach get in the guy's face. I want to see a coach on the sideline yell at a guy that he's not doing his job. I don't see that right now. And I'm not saying anyone needs to be dog cussed or anything in public, but can we not get in the guy's face and correct mistakes? Don't understand that. And lastly, use Mahomes as the finisher, not the fix. Mahomes is an all-time great quarterback. And just like Jordan isn't asked to score 83 points a game for 82 straight games. Use Mahomes when he needs to, but give him some layups sometimes. It's okay to give Mahomes quick, easy throws to get the rhythm going, to get the offense moving. And then if trouble happens, he shows the S and goes makes a play. These are some lessons that they need to learn because this is the point right here. This mark my words is going to be the Ebenezer, where it is a clear mark of what two decisions you're going to do. You can either go one direction and you almost become irrelevant but never actually win, or you can take these lessons and grow from it and now continue on to have your success. The Chiefs and their fans want to go that direction. But it has to start with the people in the organization, the people in the coaching staff, and the players. No matter who you bring in, no matter who leaves, they have to understand this is what we're trying to do. Our egos aside, we're trying to win, and we're trying to win Super Bowls because this organization is too good to be bad. They will, I really think they'll be relevant for a long time, especially with Mahomes. But do you want to be relevant or do you want to be champions? That's the question. Thank you so much for listening. Here's a quick little talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, have a wonderful day. See ya.